Before last year's election, one of the Labour Party's key promises was making tertiary education free for new students this year. And beyond that, 3 years of free fees by 2024. We're heading to Lincoln High School, just outside of Christchurch, to meet Taylin Smith and Caleb Sim, 2 Year 13 students with a free period, to talk about their expectations for life beyond high school. So, Taylin, mock exams are coming up, are they?
Yep, in a week.
And do you know what you're going to be doing beyond this year?
I've got a scholarship to go over to China next year, so I get to go to university in China and study there for a semester.
And beyond that, are you going to come back to New Zealand or?
I think in 2020 I will.
And you, Caleb?
I plan to go to Tertiary University next year to study software engineering.
Last year the government introduced their free tertiary education policy. It's 1 year free fees at the moment. Have you been aware of this? Is this something you're stoked about?
Oh, I'm definitely aware of it, you know, and it's definitely a good thing, I think, for me. It takes the pressure off.
Yeah, I agree with Caleb, because university is getting really expensive these days, and like trying to find the money to like put loans on houses and stuff, it will definitely help a lot, I reckon.
So you are thinking about student loans and paying it up?
I think everyone going to university is conscious of that, yeah.
Do you have any friends or do you know anyone at school whose attitude towards tertiary education has been affected by this 1 year free policy?
No, I don't really think so. I think you need to know where you're going from an early age. It's almost like year 10 where you need to decide where you're looking to go, and if it's just a year before you go to uni, I think that affects people that are only going to study something just to study for the sake of studying, whereas people that have a career, they've already made the decision and they know what they want to do, and it either makes things easier or it doesn't affect them because they don't want to study university.
You sound a lot more switched on than I did. The free fees policy wasn't welcomed by everyone. Its critics said it would encourage dropouts with no intention of completing a course or a degree. We're at Otago University today to speak to students to find out if that's actually been the case. Government figures show that by April, over 33,000 students had taken advantage of the first-year fees-free policy. And student borrowing for fees is down. There were over 25,000 fewer borrowing in the first 3 months of 2018 compared to the same period last year. So your fees have been, I suppose, free this year. Has that sort of felt like the pressure's been off?
Yeah, in some ways it has, but in others I feel like I have to pass because it is free. So like, I want to make the most of it.
So I was always going to come to university, so in my perspective it sort of hasn't affected whether or not to come study, but it's just a massive advantage. Like, I've been talking to my boss from work, and he says that he's had a massive student loan and he's just turned 35 now. He's got a house, he's got 3 kids, and he's just paid it off, and so that's just one thing that's just going to, I guess, is going to help me out in the future, yeah.
I suppose there was a criticism of this policy that there would be a large group of students who didn't take this year seriously, that there would be a large number of dropouts. Have you found that to be true with the people you know at all?
No, I honestly haven't found that with anyone. Yeah, because I did think so, and my mum's a sociologist and she kind of thought that as well and argued that. But everyone I talk to has seemed to really appreciate that we get this year free, and other people who are older, like, I can't believe you got this year free. Yeah.
Is there a little bit of maybe jealousy from older students?
Yeah, I think so. But I feel like it's good that they brought it in though, because for all the younger generations.
So far, so positive. But in search of a second opinion, we decided to venture down the nearby Castle Street, a student hub notorious for its couch burning and wild parties. Hamish, you're a second-year student. You missed the free fees boat by about a year.
Yep, that's right.
Does it sting pretty hard?
Yeah, it does somewhat. I mean, we were all pretty stoked to just be able to get into uni in the first place, but now that everyone can get in for free, I don't know, I think quite a few of us are pretty annoyed that we missed the boat.
Generally speaking, what's your opinion on the policy?
Well, I think that it shouldn't be the first year that's being everyone's getting it for free. I think it should be the second year, because then it gives you a bit of an incentive to actually get into that stage.
Do you know many first-year students? What's their attitude been towards it?
Well, some of them just kind of take it as a flag year and not really take it too seriously, because obviously it's all free, but I think that there is definitely still the incentive to get in second year, obviously, but I don't think that it's as...
Pressure's off a little bit.
Yeah, it does pressure off a little bit, I think, yeah.
Back on campus, we met another first year, Law and Māori Studies student, Jada. It's interesting that even though your course fees have been paid for, you feel like there's more pressure to succeed this year.
Just knowing it's coming from the government and coming from people who are paying for me, like I feel like in a way I have to really try to give back to them. I think it's nice of the government to open this up for everyone.